This is Creature of Rebelmatic, and you listen to Heavy New York. Betrayal!
Heavy New York. What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York. We got another video interview. Hope you all are doing safe during this age of quarantine. And we are here with my boy Creature of Rebelmatic.
What's going on, Alex? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How are you doing?
I'm good, all things considered.
Yeah.
I'm good, all things considered.
It's so awesome to have you here. We got some new Rebelmatic coming. The new album, Ghosts in the Shadows, is scheduled to come out very soon.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to know is, like, how the making of this was. Was there, like, a preconceived idea of how you wanted this to sound? Was there, like, a lot of improvising? What was the real focus in the making of Ghosts in the Shadows?
The music, we go into rehearsal and we jam, and the stuff comes out. Everything we've done, like, we play it before we record it. So, like, pretty much the whole album was played live before we recorded. There's no theme. The theme is, there's themes, but it's no, like, we're going to make this kind of song or that kind of song. It's kind of like, my daughter came up with the title. We started making songs. We liked the songs. We played them for people. We got the response we wanted. We recorded. There was not like, it wasn't, the difference is we had a producer, Mark O'Connell, Taking Back Sunday producer, and we got signed to his label. So yeah, that's a natural process, man. Very organic. Very organic.
I've always thought that Rebelmatic's music was very organic. I can tell that you write from the heart. You know, as a vocalist, have you always needed music to come up with the lyrics, or is there a time where maybe the subject matter that you sing about can help determine the music itself?
Good question. I write all the time. I just write. I write, but a lot of the Rebelmatic music is, like, we'll come up with the music, like, Insult to Injury I wrote in 10 minutes. Like, Alcatraz started playing a riff, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And he's just like, oh, no, I'm listening. Whoa. And he start playing, and I wrote it, like, quick. There's other songs I wrote, I kind of have some lyrics when I come into rehearsal. Some stuff I go back and rewrite. Some stuff take a month, some takes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I write. I kind of like always jot stuff down, and sometimes the music hits me quick, and I'm just like, get it off. I wrote that pretty quick. It was like right on the spot, like type of like, oh, just play it. I got some ideas, and just so it's all. It's not thought out. It's not like when I say it's not thought out, I'm always thinking. I'm always writing. But when we come to creating, it's like different processes. Sometimes it's right then. Sometimes we're jam. I go back and listen, be like, oh, I like the cadence of this. Let me put the right words in it. Or it's like I don't have a specific vocal style I'm going to use. I don't know what I'm going to do when I hear the music and I'm like, oh, it tells me to do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Do you, like, being that you write all the time, do you almost kind of need to put yourself, does inspiration just come out of nowhere sometimes? Or do you, like, need to maybe, like, be in a certain place at a certain time in order for that creative energy to flow through?
I'm always writing. I don't care. Like, I was sitting in a park and just, like, enjoying life. Like, I was like, yo, just seeing people with their family. Like, you see a family eat and just seeing beauty. I'm like, that's beautiful. And people be like, that's lame and simple. But I just think it's great. It's like seeing couples and you're just like, yo, they're happy. They're really happy. That's great. Seeing, a parent with their child, that's dope to me. Like, sometimes it sounds real kind of, I don't know how it sounds, but I don't really care how it sounds. Just how I feel. But I'm always like analyzing stuff. I'm always like, I see an older person on a train, and I'm like, damn, I wonder what they've been through in their life. You can tell. Inspiration is there all the time. I don't really, I'm always just like, either have a notebook or my phone. I'm just like, oh, word. I like that word. I'm writing it down.
Inspiration has to have come at, like, some of the most inconvenient times too, right?
Dude, inspiration has come. Yeah, dude, all kind of like in the middle, right in the middle of sex. It's coming like, oh wait, I gotta write this down. It's come like trying to go to bed. It's come. I like kind of keep a notebook near me when I sleep too, so I could just write it down and they scribble and just kind of like figure it out later. It's just there, dude. It's always there. We're living, and the dead. It's the living. It's the dead. It's the everything in between.
That's the most beautiful way of putting it, because like it just seems like no matter where you are, everything in life has meaning.
yes, and how you perceive it. Like I perceive it, it's a lot of meaning. You know what I mean? From some people, they're like, "Oh, just oblivious. It doesn't mean nothing." To me, I see it. And I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy. That's nuts." And plus, I'm an artist, so I see things a little. Most artists, we see things a little different than civilians. And plus, we go through mundane life too. So my mind kind of hones in on certain things and certain feelings, certain emotions, and I want to express it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've always thought too, like in terms of the music side of Rebelmatic, I've always said, I don't know if this is the best way of putting it, but I've always said that your music is very experimental because you have like elements of, hardcore, you have elements of punk, metal, rap, hip hop. It's fair to say, like, do all four of you guys just have different musical backgrounds and like different sources of inspiration?
Always, yeah. We have we just said it, but experimentals are interesting. I've never heard that one for us. It's interesting. I like that. I don't think we experiment. I don't know.
Experimental hardcore.
No, because that sounds no. We're very eclectic in our musical stylings. We have all of us listen to. We all listen to like metal. We all listen to hard rock. We all listen like some of us listen to hardcore. We all listen to funk. We all listen to hip hop. It's all there. We grew up in New York. We're cats that we listen, like our music plays like a mixtape, but it's not like slapped together. We're not trying to let's make this hardcore, punk, hip hop, blah, 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 metal song. It's just kind of like, what's that? Oh, I like that. Yo, I got an idea too. Boom. Oh, yo, check this out. And then it's like, oh, that's it. But it's never like thought out of like, it's never, we're going to try to recreate the best hardcore record. We're not going to try to create their best funk record. We're trying to create the best hip hop. We're just making our music that we like from our heart.
Yeah.
But we do listen to a lot of stuff. We don't just listen to metal.
You got to show the fans your Creator impression because that's the best. Like I remember in the podcast we did, you said Satan or something.
Oh no, betrayer! Can't deny it, betrayer!
You gotta do a Creator cover on the next album.
Oh man, I'll just listen to them again. They had a song that I was like, I seen them a bunch of times live when I was younger, but they had a song that I was definitely like, oh, I like this song a lot. But it wasn't from the album I was listening to. It was another. I don't remember the song.
It wasn't a Phantom Antichrist, was it?
Something lies of something. I don't remember, but I remember it right now because it was an album that I didn't listen to when it came out, and I was just kind of brushing back up on Creator, and I was like, I like this. What the fuck? I've been missing out on some of that newer shit, and I'm like, Millie, you still got it, man. You still no. Well, he needs me to tell him I still got it, but I'm just saying, for me as a kid listening to him, I'm like, oh, this shit still resonates somewhat to me.
Some bands are like fine wine; they get better with age.
Yeah, and some turn to mush. But whatever.
That's what makes music so beautiful.
Yes.
And kind of going back to your lyrics, do you try to, because you put so much thought and energy into them, do you try to engage the listener into seeing things from your point of view, or is the music open to interpretation?
I like this guy, man. Alex has done his homework. I like it. Everything's open to interpretation, but I want you to engage. I'm engaging you, but a lot of it's very cathartic, very personal. I write from a personal place a lot of times. I'm not really thinking about people. I just write what I feel. But yeah, I want people to feel kind of get into the space where I'm in. So I know how to write a song. So I'm like, okay, this is how I feel, but I'm writing it to Blood and Gold. I'm writing it to I was in a place of just going through a breakup at the time, and I was just trying to keep myself motivated. So don't stop, get up. It came to my head. I didn't think about it. I heard it. So then the words start coming, but it was kind of I'm writing a song to keep me motivated. Some are more deliberate, but it all starts with me. I'm kind of always writing from a place of just help me navigate more through life and make it easy. So, but it's open to interpretation. Who am I to tell someone how they heard my song?
Yeah, well, I've had a discussion about this with a couple of artists where sometimes they say that saying something is strictly open to interpretation sometimes could be a cop-out for the artist to not explain the work. Oh, it's whatever you want it to be. But it almost seems like sometimes it's starting to get too easy to say that.
I like this. I like that. I like that. Some things are more specific. Some things are more
Metaphorical.
A metaphorical joyride, so to speak.
That's your new album name. That's
no. Somehow, no, I don't want to give nobody free stuff. A metaphorical joyride. Yeah, it depends because some stuff I'm writing like straight specific. It's really you can't interpret it any other way. Some things I'm writing a little more poetic. So you kind of be like, is he saying this? What are you talking about? And I'll explain it if one asks, but I'm not really like, to me it's really there. It's all there. Everything I'm saying is there. There's nothing really like coded too much, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think in the end, like if a person comes up to you and asks, what does this song mean? You're not going to say, it's whatever you want it to be.
No. Hell no. We're not doing that. Like, Born to Win is about changing the narrative that's in like heavy music about I'm born to lose, you live to die. It's more like, no, I'm going to make something that's more positive, that's uplifting for myself. But it starts with me. I'm selfish in that way. It starts for me to try to keep myself going. Because like a lot of people, we go through depression and we're fighting and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, fuck. Born to Win. I just feel like, yeah.
I will say that anybody who says that metal is all about negativity and, hatred and anger and stuff, go to a Rebelmatic show because that is the most positive experience.
And fun. It's fun because we're real people. Like, we're not like just like walking around here quasi, like positive. Man, we're positive. It's like, but it's intent. Like, my goal is to be a good person. Not just a good musician, a good artist, but a good person. Like, I don't like there's people who make good music, great music, but they suck as people. And I don't want to just be a person that makes good, great music and suck as a person.
Yeah.
I want to be a good, great person.
That's the slogan for Rebelmatic. Angry music for good people.
Yeah, okay. It sounds like James Brown in a mosh pit. That's the slogan.
Oh wow, you got to trademark that.
I mean, that's it. James Brown in a mosh pit. That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
Now, going by the name of Creature, and you kind of just answered this talking about the lyrics, but every time I've interviewed like a lot of like I've interviewed like Mayhem and all these bands that go by aliases, and like
I'm the Plumes.
Yeah. Do you almost feel like in a way, in the music and live, you almost portray a character, or is Creature, as you said, it's just a direct extension of who you are?
I mean, Creature is a human being, a living being. Before the name my parents gave me, it was, it's like I was a living being, human being. It's the same thing. I mean, it doesn't, but it is a character, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like someone says Superman, he's still Clark Kent, right?
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's still Batman. He just puts on a suit, but I don't put on a suit. I wear shorts. I would perform in this right now. So,
I don't think I've ever seen you wear a long sleeve shirt.
I have once. I don't like long sleeve shirts performing. I don't even like wearing pants performing. I like shorts. I just don't feel comfortable in pants. I used to wear pants sometime, and I can't jump. I can't move. My leg gets sweaty, and I just feel like, dude, I don't care if it's cold outside. I wear pants there to the spot, and when it's time to perform, I'll go into my shorts. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my name. It's been my name for a long time.
Yeah, because I've always wondered, like, in our mutual friends in Fear is Dead, Skilla, going by the name of Skilla, and like all that. I was like wondering, like, obviously artists don't like the question, like, where does the name Fear is Dead or the name Rebelmatic comes from? But
I don't mind it.
Yeah, but like I've always was curious when they go by these names, is it something that they've been called their whole life? Is it something that they just thought of when they started the band? So,
I was called Creature before I started the band. Yeah, I've been called Creature for about 25 years or something like that. So
since I was 1 year old.
Yeah, I've been called Creature a long time. It's not like something, I didn't start that name for the band. I've been called Creature. Mm-hmm. But then, people call me Creech, people go whatever. It doesn't, it's my name. If you want to find my legal name, look it up. It's all online. I don't care. I don't really care. Like, it's not like I'm not hiding nothing, man.
There you go.
It's a name.
That's why I like Rebelmatic, because it has nothing to hide.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we try to be as honest as possible for ourselves. You know what I mean? We try to be honest and organic with our stuff. I'm not trying to act like we're like overly political or apolitical. You know what I mean? We're socially aware, but we have fun. I'm not gonna act like there's not hardcore and punk or metal in our music, because it is. But I'm not gonna act like there's not funk, hip hop, and other elements there as well. So we just try to be who we don't try. We be who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're comfortable with being who we are.
When it comes to somebody who has seen Rebelmatic live now, I think I've seen you guys like maybe 12, 13 times.
Yeah.
Always fun show. But like, do you put a similar energy into your live presence as you do when you're songwriting, or is playing live and songwriting almost like two completely separate arts?
When you say different elements, I mean, I write songs to perform.
You take that into account. How is this?
I write songs to perform. I don't write songs just to be heard. Like every song we perform, 97% of the songs we perform we play live before we record them.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't we try not to make duds. So we know it works for our audience. So I don't I'm thinking of the audience when I'm writing. I'm not just writing for me. I'm writing for me, the words, but I'm thinking, how's this going to translate live? Matter of fact, the next show when we do this set, let's throw a couple new songs in and see how people respond to it. And then you start throwing more new songs, and they're like, yo, what's that song? You're like, oh, it's not out yet. Cool.
Do you almost have to practice the crowd interaction that you bring on stage, too? Because, I mean, like, the way that you interact with the crowd and you get the audience so into it, like seeing you at Brooklyn Wildlife and seeing you, I don't know if it was Black and Blue, but it was one of Danny Diablo's shows.
Yeah, no, that's something else. That was, I don't remember what Black and Blue. That might have been not Black and Blue. That was probably the Crown, I don't know if it was a Crown of Thorns show we went to play with them, but I don't know.
Yeah, but either way, shout out to Danny Diablo, by the way.
Shout out to Danny Diablo.
But, it almost just seems like that crowd interaction and the way that you bring the audience with you, is that like something that you just comes naturally, or do you almost have to practice that?
It's something you practice, but I have a natural way of bringing people in. But yeah, you have to practice. It's something you work on. And like, you may be all right at it, good at it, but you work on it more my goal is I'm the vocalist. For those who don't know, I'm the vocalist, founder of Rebelmatic. So my goal is to bring us in. Like, the music is to draw you, but like, I write the words and I write, all the stuff. So as great as the music is, if the words and the music, the words and the vocals don't bring you in, you're like, I don't know, the music is good, but I don't feel it. If there's people who are great singers, vocalists, but they're not great front people.
Yeah, and every band is different. Like Smashing Pumpkins, they're a great band, but like they're very stationary on.
But that's a different type of music.
Yep.
That's a different type of music. Like,
if you were performing like Billy Corgan on stage, something would be missing.
No, but it's a different like. I don't respect certain bands how they play to put when I hear like certain metal, I hear certain hardcore, I hear certain punk. I need a certain energy, for me. But like, I don't expect someone who's a singer-songwriter to bring the same energy as us or whoever. I just don't expect that. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. It's just different. But our music's for the live show. Yeah. Point blank, we make music for the live. The recordings are for you to take home and listen to it and learn the songs. But it's made for live.
Well, here comes the question now. I've been asking a lot of artists this, because in the end, you are taking a song that you wrote and you are replicating it into a live performance. Mm-hmm. Is there anything creative about playing the material live if you're just replicating the material?
I mean, when you say it's your material, I mean, it's made for the setting of performing. For us personally, I can't speak for everyone else. For us, I write it to know it's going to be performed live. The experience recorded is going to sound a little different than live, because I'm not going to be interacting with people while I'm recording. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, put the mic out. I'm not going to be whatever I'm doing. It's a different experience, but I don't know, you're just replicating it, man, because it's all about writing it, recording it, performing it. It's all part of the experience. The inspiration. Like, oh, shit, wow, I gotta write this down. Go to rehearsal. Oh, I got something for that. And then it's like, this is good. We're gonna play this next time we play it. We're gonna sneak this in somewhere. So just let people, not even tell them that this is a new song. Just, hey, it's a song. And what's that? New.
There you go. And I have two more questions for you. Here comes the most difficult question of the whole interview. You ready? Yeah. How do you know when a song is done?
When you know a song is done.
And please don't tell me when it's mixed or when it's mastered, because that's the...
I mean that's the cliche way, right? Mix and master. What do you mean as far as writing it, or you actually?
Yeah, when you have it finished.
You can feel it. I think I just feel it. Like I'm quick to be. We write 2.5-minute songs. We're not writing. So we're not writing 8-minute songs. We kind of like when the point is guided across. We know we're like, okay, yeah. I'm not a person that labors. I don't labor over stuff. Like I write my lyrics. They come to me. I have a fucking bunch of words already written. I got stuff. I write pretty fast. I got a lot of stuff in my head already. We play all the time. It comes. So we hear it, and we go back. We listen to it like, oh, that could be better. No, take that out. Add this. Or we play it live a couple times. I'm like, no, this is not working now. It's supposed to work. To me, that's the test.
Yeah.
When we play it live and people, I'm like, they're not responding how I want them to respond. We either got to change something or throw this away. Let's change it, rearrange it, and then play it again. So for me, the test of a song is done is after we play it live.
That's a first time answer
for me, because it's like until you record it, it's subject to change. For me, like it's like, okay, we record, oh, this is good, but you play it live, like, damn, I want them to respond here, and then it's like, we got to do something else right here. We got to bring this energy up at this point. So yeah, for me, it's like once we perform it, and like I gauge what people like. That's what I wanted them to do.
When you get the best crowd interaction, that's when you...
Yeah, whatever. It could be just them in a whatever it is. But the response we're looking for, when we get that, I'm like, there it is. It made sense. That's what we're looking, because it's yeah. Some things get lost in translation. You'd be like, I don't know why I like this song, but it's not hitting people. Maybe we got to put it in a different part of the order. Maybe we got to switch it up, speed something up, slow, take something away. I don't know, but they're not getting it, and they like us. So it's not like playing for people who never heard you. It's like you're playing for people who know your stuff and like you, and they're like, yeah. And they don't have to say they don't like it. They just give you the energy, like, and you're like,
when are you gonna play Here I Go?
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, let's play it again another time, and it still gives you like, let's play it somewhere else. The third time, I'm like, no, we gotta change this or get rid of this.
Fair enough. You never know, though, if the song you get rid of could be a B-side and just be the biggest hit you've ever had.
Yeah, but if they didn't respond how I respond, I don't care. Like, I'm just, whoever got a recording of it, they should have kept it, because I'm not, like, I live by that. I live by, like, I want people, I don't make music just to, like, I don't know, I listen to so much. Can they see me? Am I?
Yeah.
All right. I make it for the lot. Like our stuff is meant for the stage, whether it's festivals, whether it's basements, whatever. It's meant to be interacting with people, which is crazy during the pandemic because we're not playing like that, So I don't know. I feel like you express it, you hear it, you get the response you want. We go back, we listen, go in the studio after you get all the stuff, and you just tinker. Even in the studio, you do more tinkering to try to bring the best out of it. And then when everyone's like, "Yeah, that's it, man. That's it." But it's a process, man. It's a process. Because I could write some right now, like, yo, it's done. But then when we play it, it's like, oh, damn, this didn't hit like I needed to hit.
Yeah. There's so many things that are supposed to go one way and end up being completely different.
Yeah.
Yep. And the final question I wanted to ask you is, being a native New Yorker, you've been telling me stories on how you've seen bands play at L'Amour's before they became big.
Ritz.
Yep. So, but nowadays in the scene, I mean, obviously there's no shows happening in any scene at the moment, but I'd imagine for you consider yourself a New York band. I mean, Queens is almost like your tagline.
Well, I'm from Queens. Alcatraz from Queens. Ramsey is from Brooklyn, and Carnes is from the Bronx, and we probably based in Brooklyn, but we're a New York band. Yes, born and raised in New York City.
Just New York.
New York City. We gotta say city. We're city kids. Okay, sorry.
Fair enough. Yeah, I grew up a suburb kid.
So. Not a problem. I just have to. I gotta make sure it's New York City. It's not all suburbs. It's just a city. We're New York City kids.
Yep. And if you started upstate, you're a New York suburb kid.
Or just a New York kid, a New York State kid. I don't know. That's my own thing. That's my own thing. It's not it doesn't even matter at this point.
But starting in New York City, what is your take on the scene now, in a way? Like, do you think that the New York City scene is still doing as good as it was, or do you think that there's stuff that needs to be improved? What do you think could make the New York
what
scene?
scene? Because the scene is so splintered. What scene are we talking about? Like, there's a hardcore scene, there's a metal scene, there's a, like the black and blue scene is different from the ABC No Real scene. There's like a political hardcore scene. There's a more crusted hardcore scene. There's a scene
It's
where
compartmentalized.
there's more Latin punks. There's more Black and African American punks. There's like, there's metal. There's people who listen to more traditional, maybe thrash, and now there's people that's more into new. I don't know. It's all over the place. I don't know, man. The stuff pops up. There's trap metal. Like, I don't know. Like, and who am I to speak on that when I'm like, I don't know about that, and then I'm not saying no disparaging way. I'm just saying like, and these kids are packing rooms, 500 people, or even bigger. Whatever they're doing. I'm not, what I'm saying. So it's so much. I don't know. We say scene so broad.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes within a scene. I don't think there's one scene in New York. There's multiple scenes.
Yeah, and it seems like you're able to fit into almost all of them. I mean, I could see you at a hip-hop show.
We played hip-hop shows. Yeah,
and then at a metal show. And
I don't know metal, though. I don't know. Really? Metal? I don't think metal.
I know a lot of metal fans who would appreciate it. I think you have like that rawness and that riff style.
We could play with some metal bands. We played with hardcore bands, we played with punk bands, we played with hip-hop bands, we played with a lot of different people. We don't really play with like metal, like tradition. We play with like alt metal people, I guess.
Sure, I think maybe like Summer Slaughter, if that's your dream festival to be on. Maybe I can't maybe see like a show with like Cattle Decapitation or Infant Annihilator or Flesh God Apocalypse, but like I definitely see a lot of metal fans resonating with you guys because metalheads are always looking for something new and something different, and you bring a new and different vibe to it.
Okay, you say so. I don't know. I don't like. It's funny. Before I got into hardcore, I was a metalhead, right? And I felt like hardcore opened me up to way more music. Metal was very like, I'm into metal. I listen to Metallica, and I'm older, so I'm listening to Metallica, Testament, Overkill, Creator, Destruction, Sodom, Obituary, blah blah blah. Possessed, and I know music exactly. But and I'm listening to all that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like and it's different. I don't know. I'm not totally attuned to what's going on in metal right now. So I feel like I just feel. Metal people who are open-minded, yes, I think they could hear some stuff that they like from us. But I think generally, man, I think people like the death metal kids don't listen to most new metal stuff. Not all, some, but some are like, hell, yeah, but you're more diverse. There's some people just like heavy music.
Every metalhead in my generation, this is probably going to be the most controversial thing I've ever said on my show.
Okay.
Every metalhead, though, of my generation owned a copy of Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. So,
see, that's interesting. Okay. I see. Now, that means that your generation probably is more open-minded as far as dealing with metal.
100%.
Yeah, because the generation of metalheads, see, the bands I mentioned, like late 80s bands, 90s bands, whatever. And that was more very like...
You're either this way or you're not.
Yeah, either this way or that way. Metal and punk didn't really get along. Maybe some people like Suicidal Tendencies, some people like certain stuff, but it was very like, we don't like that. Some punk hardcore kids and metalheads both like certain bands, some like Slayer, some people both liked, Motorhead or whatever, but it wasn't like, you hear stuff like, that were considered like with hip hop and metal, it was like, I don't listen to that shit. And it's still, you're younger, the older people, they're still like, a lot of them, they don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing that's not, quote unquote, pure metal.
Yeah.
In their opinion.
Yeah. Well, what is pure metal? I know plenty of people I'll never forget, somebody asked me one time, is the music you listen to heavy like Creed? They think Creed is like devil music.
See, that's why I say it's like, it comes down to how much, what what are people's reference points, right? Someone might say, I listen to stuff with Norwegian death metal. Someone else would be like, oh, I like, Deftones and Slipknot. And that's to them, that's their, so someone who listens to Deftones, Slipknot, and stuff like that might be quicker to listen to us.
Yeah.
But someone who listens to Bathory probably be like, hell no, I'm not listening to this shit.
You never know.
I'm not saying they will or not. I'm just, hey, if you listen, you like it. I want everyone who likes it to like it. But I'm just saying, like, I don't expect it. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like certain people are open to, anyone who's open-minded to hearing different genres blend and done organically and done well will dig it. Those who don't, I don't know, it's not their thing.
Let's just call it fucking good music.
Yeah, I'll take the O from it, put an R with it, and take the other O from it, put an E to it, and take the into the A to it, put a T at the end, and call it great. But yes, great, good music. Good music, yeah, it's important. And people like what they like, man. That's the most important thing. You like what you like what resonates with you, you like what speaks to you. And if our music speaks to you and resonates to you, then we're here for it.
And that's why we keep coming back. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Just Ghost in the Shadows. You said I did my homework, but I did forget when the release date for it is.
August 28th, Red Right Recordings. It's produced by Mark O'Connell from Taking Back Sunday. We're proud of it. We're happy. We put our all into it. We're bummed that we can't really get out there and perform it for you.
But when this is over, we'll be seeing a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll be on tours and all that stuff. And we got some virtual stuff, too, coming out soon. I don't know if I can even say it yet, but we got some virtual shows and stuff we're doing. We'll be active. We're staying active. But I think anyone who listens to if the term James Brown and Mosh Pit resonates with you, check us out.
I love that slogan. And for this potential virtual stuff, I mean, you guys aren't responsible for any furniture that's broken in our living rooms, right?
I'm not responsible. We're gonna have viewer discretion is advised. Yeah, if you break your furniture, I mean, I don't know. You might gotta talk to somebody, but I have nothing to do with that. I just create the soundtrack. I don't know. I don't want to be held responsible for you breaking your furniture.
Well, Creature, thanks again, man.
Thank you, Alex.
Everybody, Creature of Rebelmatic, Ghosts in the Shadows, coming out very soon, August 28th.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time on Heavy New York.
Heavy New York!